Morning. We are installing a Cozeware mini split at our friend Steve's house today. Cozeware was nice enough to sponsor this video and send us a unit. We didn't have anywhere to put one, so our buddy Steve, he's got an awesome bus and a cat named Chaos, and they need to stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. So we're gonna install this today and get them taken care of. Cool. So the question is, I guess, is, how high do we want it? I feel like we could maybe push it this way, but I'm a little worried about that. I guess, yeah.
Can you see it?
I think it's good. So we are installing the bracket here, and you'll notice there's a big hole over there. So usually when you install these, you would use this and you would go right through here and take your whole bundle straight out. We don't want to do that because that's the front of the bus. So we're gonna go out the side, and the mini split is down over there. But always you want to think about your drainage, right? And so that drainage tube has to slope all the way out, so you can see that the bottom of the unit, which is just a little bit lower than this, is still higher than this hole. So Steve did a great job. He measured it and got it exactly right. So we're just gonna slope that whole bundle. It's gonna go straight out. We'll connect it down outside. But that does mean that all of our copper connections, instead of going through the wall and attaching on the outside, we have to make all those connections now because they're gonna be right behind the unit right here. So we're gonna connect all that stuff, and then we gotta bring the whole thing in with the super long hoses, and we gotta push everything through the wall and then click it to the wall, and then we'll be good to do all the outside stuff. Now, in case you're wondering, we have the 12,000 BTU 115 volt mini split from Cozeware. It cools spaces up to 750 square feet, has high efficiency CO2 performance, and it's super quiet at 31 decibels in sleep mode. You can control the unit with the included remote, or even from the official Cozeware app when you're too lazy to get out of bed. And as you'll see, it's super DIY friendly and easy to install. Speaking of, Chaos wants back in the bus, so let's get to it. So we gotta get in here to get to the communication cables. So you can lay in your bed and control it. Supposedly it works with an app, the thing, without even having the remote.
So in the middle of the night when I decided it's too hot in there, I can just like...
I mean, it has a remote too, but...
Yeah, I'll lose the remote.
Exactly, so that way you can use your phone.
Or let me rephrase that. My cat will lose the remote. My cat will lose the remote for me.
His name is Chaos.
Yeah, yes. There's a reason. I'm using this type of sheet metal screw. It's got a little rubber washer on it, keep it from leaking. I also silicone the back. So we don't want water in the electric. Go figure.
Ain't gonna happen.
Background stuff.
Oh, come on. So we're prepping the outside unit, which means we have to connect the communication cable, which is your line, your neutral, your ground, and then your actual communication line. So that is already connected here. It's fished through the back. So before we do the outside anchors, let's go ahead and get all the copper connections for the inside, pull that through the wall, get it attached inside, and then we'll do everything outside. Where it's hot. It's hot, yeah.
The goal is to be cool.
All right, so we're gonna get real hot, and then we'll get real cool after.
But hey, we're cool anyway.
Now, what I would recommend to you, if you're going to move this later, keep all these plastic fittings. because if you want
Oh,
to, because
I'm
if you're
laughing because I'll put them in a safe place,
and then you won't be able to find them.
That
Yeah.
took me 3 days to find.
Yeah, but if you're going to do the thing where you redraw the refrigerant back to the outside unit and cap it off and move it,
Sure.
it's easier if you have these
Yeah.
plastic fittings to actually cap it off.
Okay.
Because I didn't have that last time and I had to tape it, and it was
I
not
shall
the greatest.
I shall put them in an important place. I have never thrown away anything that and then needed it 3 days later.
Of course, of course. All right, that's good. I want to make sure we get this at the right angle so that we don't have any weirdness when we're attaching it. All right, down a little.
On the ground.
Okay. All right, hold it right there. Ready?
So,
All right.
You can go out that way and walk through the door.
well,
You'll have to go in first.
I know.
Yeah, but yeah, I can go over here.
That's why I was.
push him out of the way.
I don't think I've ever installed it this way before. This is a little crazy.
It's insulation, I think. It's just a little bit.
Not catching. It just wasn't all the way down.
Yeah.
There it is. Yep. Okay. Okay. Don't touch it. Next step, we want to mount the outside unit to this little concrete pad that Steve already poured so that when we connect the fittings, nothing moves because the flare fittings are a little fragile. We want to make sure when we connect them, we don't accidentally move the unit and break that seal. So we're going to hammer drill this, put some concrete anchors in, and bolt it down. All the connections have been made. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna draw a vacuum on this, make sure that and do a low pressure test, make sure there aren't any leaks, and then we will release the refrigerant from this unit into that unit, and we should be done. Cool?
Cool.
Okay.
Well, it's not cool yet.
Blue manifold line goes to the large diameter port. Yellow line goes to the vacuum. We're going to open the blue gauge, turn the vacuum on, and run for 15 minutes. That's supposed to come off.
Scared me.
Back out into the oven.
Yeah. So the negative pressure hasn't moved, so we get to move on to the next step. So we're going to do a quarter turn. This is going to go up positive, and then we're going to turn it back off and hold again. No additional leakage, so we're now going to release the rest of it to the inside unit. Okay, now the last part is we gotta take this off, but it's gonna have pressure on it and it's gonna spray gas or refrigerant, so it needs some kind of like glove or something to do that.
Do I close my eyes?
Uh-huh. I heard a beep.
Me too.
Let's see if it works.
I've had some things where I found years later.
Let's push the power button.
Turn that temperature way down.
Well, it can do heat, cool, auto, and then it's got like a cleaning mode.
Well, there's a button over here for care.
Yeah. I don't know. Should we get the manual?
Yeah.
Maybe we should look at the manual.
Maybe you should.
Hi. Oh, added successfully. Oh, we did it. Okay, look at that. Now watch this. Device on. Device off.
No.
What?
Turn it back.
What?
I want it on.
Okay. Device on.
So you can adjust the temperature with that.
You can do all kinds of stuff. You can change all the modes and the swings and the timer. In your case, you're leaving for 2 weeks and you're like, well, I don't want it to run 24/7 in case it runs my battery down because I haven't had enough time to see how much power it uses.
Yeah.
Maybe I just run it when it kicks on at 9 in the morning when it's hot, and then it kicks off when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
You could totally do that.
My bus is 91 inches, but third by 33. So from this point back, it's 227 square feet. This unit's supposed to cool off 600 square feet.
Yeah.
So, and we mounted a little off center, so it's blowing right here. I'll find out later whether it makes it all the way back to the bed.
It should.
It should.
Yeah. It just might take a little while.
Yeah.
As it kind of works through it. All right. So last thing before we head out of here, we want to go see what the power usage is like on Steve's solar system because, solar is not unlimited. He has a certain size system, and so we want to make sure that it's not drawing too much power and that he can actually run it all the time. So we're going to head over to the shop and see what it's doing.
Oh, you?
6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 5. I used to be 5'10" and a half.
Yeah?
Now I'm 5'9" and a half.
Oh no, you lost it.
Because gravity.
Can you hear it?
I even got my hearing aids in. I can't hear it. The fan I have inside to keep the electronic.
That's pretty quiet.
Batteries are at 99%, and I'm not drawing any power that's not coming off the solar. So nothing out of the batteries right now. My 7,000 watts of solar is more than enough to run
Yeah.
a freezer, refrigerator, these lights, and that.
Okay.
So I have no clue how much it's using.
So we'd want to see like when the sun goes down
Yeah,
how much power it uses. Maybe
But-
later. Are you
I'm not going anywhere.
okay?
I'm taking a nap.
All right. So naps all around,
Yeah,
and then maybe we'll swing by later.
You guys are welcome anytime, especially now.
Hey, Steve.
Hi.
Is it cold inside?
It works good. I turned my freezer off. Took me a while to get here out because I had to unchip my feet from the floor. The cat's bald on one side because she froze to the floor. The other side.
Yeah, that's real cool.
Woo! Okay, so I set the thermometer on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's 60
Oh,
on the floor, and it was 86.
so
remember?
maybe we need to adjust the louver a
I
bit.
turned it up.
Yeah, so it's like blowing up and not
And
down.
it's-
Yeah, my feet are very cold right now.
I've been sitting on the couch with my feet, it blowing on my feet, and I'm like, I went outside to do something, and I'm like, I need to go back in for a nap. But yeah, it's working.
Good nap.
Working great.
Okay, so we did the math. It's using about 650 watts right now. Mini splits are really great at not using a lot of power all the time. It's going to ebb and flow, especially as it reaches temperature. The compressor will kick off and that wattage will go way down. Anyway, he's got 15 kilowatt hours. Even if it runs at 650 watts, that's 24 full hours before his batteries will be drained. And you get sun every day, right? Yeah.
Well, we're in Arizona.
Yeah, we're in Arizona. The good news is you have enough buffer that if it is uncomfortable at night, you should be able to run it and stay comfortable, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. All right, that was it. We're done. Huge shout out to Steve the Wheelbarrow Man and Chaos the Cat for letting us invade their space and install this mini split. You can follow Steampunk Steve on YouTube to see what they're up to next. And of course, thank you to Cozware for sponsoring this video and letting us help out a friend. You can use the link in the description and the code TSH12 to save 12% off your own Cozware mini split, which is the biggest discount they do. Cool? All right, we'll see you next time.
I'm not plumb. My bus shouldn't be.